At 9, San Antonio police are investigating a deadly incident along the Riverwalk late last night.
According to police, they received a call just before 11 last night for an assault along the Riverwalk near South St. Mary's. Officers found a 65-year-old man unresponsive on the ground. He was later pronounced dead.
Witnesses were able to give a description of the suspect. They later learned the victim and suspect were involved in an argument. Officers believe the suspect hit the victim with his fists as the victim tried to get away, causing him to fall and possibly hit his head.
That suspect tried to get away, but officers were able to catch up to him. We're going to bring you more information on that incident as soon as it becomes available.
Outside with live cam, already 80 degrees out there and lots of blue skies. Justin has more good news. If you missed our earlier newscast, he's been talking all morning about some pretty good rain chances in the coming days.
Yes, it's quiet right now. Beautiful shot out there with blue skies, just a few clouds. But things changed this evening. We get some rain chances back in the picture, and we could see some storms even as they work their way from the hill country towards San Antonio. Let's take a look at some of the headlines for today. It is still going to be hot. Temperatures make their way into the upper 90s. Heat indices will be up close to 100, I think, by the afternoon. But then we'll watch for those scattered storms, especially north of I-10. And the good news here, even more rain is in the forecast as we get into next week. The pattern becomes more active. At the moment, 82 degrees at the airport. Dew point is at 73. Feels like 87 outside when you factor in that humidity. And here's what we're watching. You see the showers and storms here across North Texas. That's only a weak frontal boundary that'll be sinking south, and that's why we think we'll get some of those showers and storms going a little bit later today. So the rain chances look like this. 3 p.m. 20% chance. By dinner time, the rain chances begin to pick up, and I think our best shot here in San Antonio is between 5 and 9 p.m. this evening. We'll talk more about these rain chances. We'll also check in on the tropics, plus the drought monitor is out. The latest there coming up in just a few minutes. But let's get over to Stephen now with a look at the morning commute, hopefully winding down.
Unfortunately, it looks like things are just turning up here along I-10 at Woodstone. Let's get a wider look TransGuide. Pretty bright shot what we're seeing out there, but what I'm able to make out is we do have first responders that include San Antonio Fire Department as well as EMS and of course San Antonio Police. It does look like this is a single vehicle crash from what we're able to see, but it is a little bit challenging given that it's a little bright out there. But I'll give our friends at TransGuide a call, find out exactly what's taking place. But for now, drive carefully through that area. We are seeing a slowdown in the westbound lanes where the crash is picked up, and you can see it's pretty long there, passing Huebner Road. And in fact, this could cause any delays for drivers that may be trying to make their way westbound on I-10. If you're traveling in the westbound lanes of I-10, get off on Callahan Road, and then you can take a left onto Vance Jackson. I've mapped it out there for you in blue, and thankfully that area is pretty easy to drive through. Continue a little bit further along Vance Jackson, and then eventually turn left at De Zavala Road, and then you'll hit the I-10 frontage road that way. But this is just one of the solutions you could take if you are trying to make your way up on the westbound lanes of I-10. Now giving you a wide look at the map, it does look like another crash may have popped up there near 281. We'll find out how that's going to impact your drive time, but for now, just the usual slowdowns due to some of that road work that we continue to see. Taking it back here, of course, we're going to keep an eye on this and give you those updates right here on GMSA at 9. Guys.
Stephen, thank you. Top stories we're following this morning. 1 broken car window plus 2 attempted escapes have added up to 3 women in jail.
Sheriff's deputies say all of that happened during a wild encounter overnight in West Bexar County, and it began on a neighborhood street called Round Ridge near Shanefield Road. Katrina Weber is there and tells us deputies initially were focusing on a home there.
They told me this started with a call about an assault, a man being beaten by his girlfriend with a mason jar at a home here. But it wasn't long before the deputy's car came under attack. All of this broken glass right here used to be the back window of his SUV. The deputies did arrest 3 women, but only after a struggle. A sheriff's supervisor told me as one deputy arrived to investigate the assault, the victim's 18-year-old girlfriend was leaving with 2 of her friends in a car. He believes one of them smashed the window on his patrol car as they left. He went after them and also radioed for help. Another deputy then spotted the car with the women on Shanefield Road, not far from Wild Horse Parkway, and stopped it. They say as he started to take the women into custody, the 18-year-old slipped out of her handcuffs, got back into the car, and tried to drive away again. She drove up on a curb, and that's when deputies got her into custody again. All 3 women faced charges. Now, deputies tell us that the man who was the victim of the original assault suffered minor injuries. Reporting from West Bexar County, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
And here's today's 9 at 9.
A federal judge in Florida will consider whether to unseal the government's affidavit used to justify the FBI's search of former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence. It's just part of the legal wrangling around Trump and several close associates today.
A new batch of revamped COVID-19 shots could be available to millions of Americans within the next 3 weeks. The booster shots are made to target the original COVID strain and the Omicron BA4 and BA5 subvariant. And as the CDC plans for the rollout, the director is calling for a reset of the health agency because it, quote, did not reliably meet expectations in responding to the pandemic.
The White House expected to give updates on the response to monkeypox this morning. The disease is spreading worldwide at an alarming rate. The total U.S. count is approaching 14,000. The White House says the vaccine supply is improving and fully vaccinating those deemed at highest risk should be possible by late next month.
Mexico's government is reaching out to German and U.S. companies to help with rescue efforts to save 10 miners who have been trapped in a flooded coal mine for 2 weeks. Relatives of the trapped miners say their frustrations are mounting with each delay and blame the government for not acting faster.
The nation's roadways are getting more deadly. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration released early estimates of traffic crashes in the U.S. during the first 4 months of the year and found the number of Americans killed has hit a 20-year high. Officials warn that it's time for all states to double down on traffic safety.
Actress Anne Heche's death has been ruled an accident. The Department of Medical Examiner coroner says she died from inhalation and thermal injuries. Heche also had a sternal fracture, most likely from her chest hitting the steering wheel after her car crashed.
3 major pharmacies, CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart, have been ordered to pay $650 million to a pair of Ohio counties over the opioid epidemic. The companies are being held responsible for millions of opioid pills going into those counties. All 3 companies say they will appeal the judgment.
New parents searching for baby formula may have a better chance of buying it now. A market research firm says out-of-stock rates for powder baby formula were at 25% last week, which is better than the rate mid-July. The stock rate for other baby formula like ready-to-drink and liquid products is even better than the powder versions.
American shoppers didn't spend any more in July compared to June, but they also didn't spend less either. According to the Commerce Department, retail sales came in flat. But if you take out gasoline and auto sales, spending actually went up last month by 0.7%. And that's today's 9 at 9. Okay, in your morning headlines, a man walking on a drawbridge dies after the bridge suddenly opens. And how would you feel about getting paid for letting a stranger take a dip in your pool? I had to read that twice to make sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Plus, something straight out of a movie. Scientists want to bring back a so-called apex predator that roamed the earth more than 100 years ago. RJ Marcus joins us with that story and more.
What possibly could go wrong here, RJ?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, some real Jurassic Park vibes going on.
As Jeff Goldblum says, nature finds a way.
Yes, definitely. Jeff Goldblum, always the greatest lines there in those Jurassic Park movies, but makes a lot of sense. And we will just talk about that story here in just a bit. But we're starting, guys, with this very tragic accident in Milwaukee when an operator opened a drawbridge there while a man was walking on that drawbridge, sending him falling 70 feet to his death. And this was all caught on surveillance video. So cameras showed this individual, 77-year-old Richard Dujardin, in the middle of the bridge on Monday as it started to rise. So his son said that his father was visiting from Rhode Island and was wearing a hearing aid as he walked across the bridge with his wife. He was also using an iPad to find his way to a nearby church. Well, city officials said that alarm bells sounded before the gates came down and the bridge went up. The medical examiner's office believes Dujardin didn't hear that warning, and here's how it sounded a little bit on a 911 call.
I see one lady, I don't know how to explain it, but she fell out.
If there are anything that needs to change in our processes, we will, of course, evaluate those things.
Okay, so Dujardin's wife did make it across. She had already walked through, but Dujardin was in the middle of the bridge when it opened and unfortunately died. City officials say an operator monitors the bridge from a tower that's about a mile away and is required to check 2 live cameras before opening or closing that drawbridge. That bridge operator was placed on leave as city officials continue investigation. into this man's death. Okay, moving on to some other news this morning. Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney says that her fight to keep former President Donald Trump from returning to the White House is not over, even after a crushing primary loss to a challenger who was backed by the former president. Cheney is now reportedly thinking about running for president herself in hopes of blocking Trump from ever returning to office. Cheney's advisors told CNN recently that she intends to wait until next year to make any decisions when she's no longer in Congress or serving as vice chair of the January 6th committee. But her defeat is the latest sign of former President Trump's influence on the Republican Party. His endorsed candidate ran away with a 37-point landslide victory over Liz Cheney, and this has raised questions about Cheney's future in politics.
I have said no House seat, no office in this land is more important than the principles that we are all sworn to protect.
To serve in Congress and will continue her role as the vice chair of the House Select Committee. Hearings are expected to resume there in September. All right, guys, now to this rent a swimming pool story. We've all heard of Airbnb and the overall sharing economy like Uber and Lyft, basically getting in someone's car for just to get a ride. But what about letting people just rent your swimming pool for a day? Well, now you can dive, or someone else can dive, into your pool or a stranger's pool but recently gained traction during the pandemic as people look for safe ways to socialize outdoors. Hosts set their own rates and give Swimply a 15% cut, but there are obviously concerns about safety here. So in June, a child drowned in what the company's CEO called the first drowning incident at a Swimply reserved pool. The company has listings in more than 125 markets in the U.S., Canada, and Australia. So I had a lot of questions about this one, guys. Yeah. Or rent your swimming pool?
If I had a pool?
Yes. That would be the first question.
I would be scared. Because maybe there's some properties out there where the pool's far away from you and your family, because who knows how they want to party, and then the liability.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That's what I would be most worried about. What could possibly happen when I am not there?
Right.
Exactly. Yes. So it's a little strange. Also, restrooms. I'm assuming people have to go to the bathroom at some point when they're at the pool.
It would have to be a pool equipped with outdoor restroom.
A lot of questions here, but this is available for someone that's interested in this.
You will be shocking your pool with chlorine after every rental. That's for sure.
Yeah, guys. Now to this story here, this last one. Have we learned nothing from Jurassic Park, these movies? Scientists here want to resurrect a tiger that's long been extinct. This would be the Tasmanian tiger. You can see it right here behind me, that used to roam the Australian bush more than a century ago. So the Australian Research Lab is leading the way to bring the species back to life. Scientists plan to use old DNA and artificial reproduction for the project. But get this, they admit that since the animal no longer exists, this will not be an easy process. The lab may have to combine the long-gone animal's genes with those of another animal, a la Jurassic Park, to create a hybrid form of this apex predator. It doesn't look so menacing here in this video, but still, why are we doing this?
No, and we were questioning the taxidermy work on especially the head of this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right here.
The face.
We're going to make the eyes look like this. Now, if they're actually able to recreate this thing, we can, I'll correct myself later if that's what they actually look like.
Yeah, but like you said, why kind of bring this back? I didn't see any sort of justification for wanting to do this, but,
in the name of science, maybe.
In the name of science, I guess, yeah.
To repopulate the species, question mark?
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. RJ, thank you.
Guys.
Good seeing you. 9:12, about 81 degrees. Still ahead on GMSA at 9.
KSAT investigates complaints by some parents in Karnes City about the county attorneys meddling in school district affairs. Plus,
coming up next, a tree dedication in honor of a military veteran from San Antonio. Details on what today means for his family.
9:16, St. Philip's College here in San Antonio honoring its founding president by hosting a day full of events celebrating past, present, and future of the college.
So 6 ceremonies will be held this morning, from ribbon cutting of new buildings to an oak tree dedication in honor of a longtime San Antonio resident who was an advocate for underserved populations.
Tiffany Huertas joins us live from St. Philip's this morning. Tiffany, good morning. Where is this oak tree located?
Good morning, Mark and Stephanie. The tree is located on campus. It's at the corner of MLK Drive and South Walter Street. But take a look at this beautiful, beautiful tree. It's so special. This tree stood in Colonel Roy Burley Sr.'s backyard. That was way before the college was here. We have his daughter, Nan, and son, Roy. Good morning. Talk to us about how special today was for you.
Very special. My father loved this tree on the property. He played here baseball. He climbed the tree, had big dreams, and he became a very decorated Army colonel, a veteran of 3 wars. And when he retired from the Army, he came and gave back to the community as an advocate for health care, for also job training, and he served on many, many boards. And we just all know the stories about this beautiful tree and what it meant to him. So we're just thrilled that he was honored today with this tree and a plaque on Legacy Day here at St. Philip's.
Roy, and how are you feeling this morning?
Oh, feeling closer to my father and my family. His father, Robert, who purchased the land in the 20s. So it brings back the family ties.
Talk to us about how this property looked like back then.
Well, this building wasn't here. And this was the parking lot or the yard of the old house. So, and it stretched all the way to Walter Street, and then it cut across in front of the old building.
And we were talking about, in weeks from now, you're going to be able to drive by here and remember your father, remember all those memories, right?
I will.
And how is that going to mean for your family?
Oh, very, very special. You know, just the fact that it has been dedicated and that there's a plaque here, and the generations of our family and family friends can come here and remember Dad. And, you know, remember that, you know, some of their parents played in this backyard. It was a very popular backyard. My grandmother hosted many events here, and one of them, Henry B. Gonzalez's first political campaign. So it brings back great memories. Many of the young men in this neighborhood who played here became leaders also in the community. So the roots of this tree, you know, I think are exemplary of the roots of the community.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this very special day with us on our show.
Thank you so much for having us.
We're going to have more on the noon show. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Yeah, we look forward to it. And time now, 9:19. It's starting to warm up a little bit outside already.
It is, and we're still behind in the rainfall department. And it's Thursday, so Justin does a kind of weekly recap of where things stand drought-wise.
Yeah, the drought monitor comes out every Thursday morning, so this is hot off the presses, and we'll show you what it says about our rainfall situation. Now, we did get some good rain last week, and it cut into the drought just a little bit. We see that south of San Antonio, that was cut back just a little bit. The exceptional drought, some places like Pleasanton, Pearsall, La Pryor, those areas were in exceptional drought last week. Now they're in extreme drought. Little bit of an improvement. We'll take it. And we have more rain in the forecast, so hopefully we can continue to eat away at this slowly but surely. It's going to take some time, but every little bit. Full down 73 feet, down 15.5 feet over the last 3 months. And as we go outside for you, partly cloudy conditions are really mostly sunny at the airport. 82, 81 Stinson, 82 at Kelly, and 82 at Randolph. We've been dealing with light winds most of the morning. Not much cloud cover out there. We see a few patches of some morning clouds, but nothing that's terribly thick. And temperatures holding in the low 80s for right now. 80 in Holotus, 77 in Bernie Stage, 80 Canyon Lake, 83 in New Braunfels. And dew points are still rather high in the mid-70s. It's still extremely sticky out there, and it's, like yesterday, going to contribute to a pretty significant heat index. It'll feel like 102 this afternoon. This is around 4 o'clock. It'll feel like 100 in New Braunfels, 104 in Seguin. So we still have to worry about the heat today, but as we get into the evening hours, that's when we may start to see a little bit of relief in the form of some showers and storms, and hopefully that cools us down some. Nothing out there as far as rain goes at the moment. But as we look north, we still notice a good area of showers and storms across North Texas. That is just behind this boundary, which still sitting across central Texas, hasn't moved much, but we do think it advances a little bit further south this afternoon. And as it does, it should help to kick up those showers and storms. What about a severe weather risk? Well, there's a little bit of a risk. San Angelo to Houston, maybe over to San Antonio, as this front moves in today with some good daytime heating. It's isolated, though. And it looks like they moved it a little bit further west, maybe including parts of Barrett County. But we don't have to pay too close attention to where these lines are. The bottom line is that we could see some gusty winds, I think, with some of the stronger storms. That's probably the biggest risk, and this is a low-end risk. Otherwise, we're just talking about good rain here, and that's exactly what we need. So the forecast shows that by 2 o'clock, we've just got a couple storms popping up. Nothing here in San Antonio. But as we get to the 5 o'clock hour, I think we'll see some storms blossom and the rain chances go up. 40% chance here in town. You'll get better chances north of San Antonio, and then these storms try to work through as we get into the 7, 8 o'clock hour before dying down some by 10 p.m. And then with the loss of daytime heating, most everything goes away. Tomorrow, we'll have another chance for some showers and storms, another 30% shot at some hit or miss pop-up showers and storms along that frontal boundary. Best chance today, 60% up across the hill country. We'll go a 40% chance San Antonio, Gonzales over to Bandera and Leakey. And then south of San Antonio, unfortunately, rain chances do fall off pretty significantly, 20% down towards Pleasanton and places like Uvalde. KSAT 12-hour forecast, 92 noontime. We're up to 98 this afternoon. There's that 40% chance of rain. I'd say between 5 and 9. Again, probably our best window for rain around the area. And very quickly in the tropics, we still have our system down there. It actually doesn't look all that bad considering it's over land. And once it reemerges into the Gulf of Mexico, there could be some development here, about a 30% chance. At this point, it looks like it may take a turn into Mexico. If it does, still some questions here, but I think it does at least throw some tropical moisture in our direction, which would help our rain chances next week. So the 7-day forecast has a lot of rain in it, and that's not a bad thing. 40% chance today, 30% chance tomorrow. Saturday is probably quiet, but depending on how that tropical moisture evolves next week, we'll get to up our rain chances a little bit, perhaps Tuesday into Wednesday.
Outstanding.
Yeah, great news, Justin.
It is. Thank you, sir. 923, 82 degrees.
And with the Pact Act signed into law, veterans can now take better care of themselves. Coming up next, one local veteran shares his story as he gets the help he needs.
Welcome back. Just about 9:27. The Pact Act is a new law aimed at taking better care of our veterans. It stands for Promise to Address Comprehensive Toxins.
Pact Act is meant to help the nearly 3 million veterans exposed to burn pits and is supposed to make it easier for vets to get care without the burden of proving their illness was caused by their service.
KSAT 12's Camelia Juarez spoke to a local veteran who is now on track to get the care he needs.
When Navy veteran John Roberts was serving in Iraq, he would throw trash into a burn pit.
It could be a big field, basically, of just trash that's on fire, and that's where we throw most of our trash, building, construction, things like that we're doing on base. And it's constantly burning. It's like never stops.
While working, he was constantly inhaling smoke and unknown chemicals.
It didn't smell very good when I would go in there, but that was your only option.
That was back in 2005, but the effects on his health have been long-lasting. Robert says he struggles to breathe and run like he used to.
It's not something that's, been affecting me right now. I'm worried about later.
He's concerned about cancer or a chronic lung condition.
I have friends that have had cancer. So those are the things that I worry about with my friends and me.
Now that the Pact Act has passed, Veterans Affairs will presume cancers, bronchitis, asthma, to name a few illnesses, were caused by one's service in the military.
That's why I'm so glad this got passed, because now there's so many things all the doors that are open for all the things that could go wrong in the future.
Depending where and when someone served, a veteran can automatically qualify for care under the Pact Act. Experts familiar with VA healthcare claims say since the law is new, it can take some time processing.
Don't wait. Go on e-benefits, put in your claims. If you can't figure out how to do a claim, come to a VFW. There's somebody here that'll help you out.
You can go to our website or the VA website to find out that new presumptive condition list for healthcare benefits. And if you haven't enrolled with the VA, then you may want to get started on that process. Camalia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
9:29, 82 degrees. There's more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Including Dylan Collier sharing what he uncovered while investigating complaints from parents about the Karnes County attorney meddling in school district affairs.
As we head to break and checking the roads, you see the slowdown here at I-10 and Huebner. Stephen Cavazos will be along in just a bit.
Time check 9:32, and I come bearing better news than what we initially started the show with. I-10 at Huebner. Now, this is where we showed you that backup that was taking place, and that was due to that crash that we saw along I-10 westbound, not far from Woodstone. So as I mentioned, looks like we have better news out here because traffic is moving without any trouble, but we are still seeing a slowdown. There was a crash that was reported in the westbound lanes not far from Woodstone Drive. Looked like that could have involved an 18-wheeler, and traffic was down to actually one lane, but I just checked the corner of my eye at TransGuide. Looks like things are moving a lot better, but still seeing a slowdown though. So a quick solution here, I would say if you want to avoid that, if it's a time sensitive kind of day for you, it is for most people, just exit Callahan Road, turn left at Vance Jackson, continue a little bit further, and you will eventually hit De Zavala and take a left there. But always remember that there are those stoplights out there, so just prepare for that. Let's go ahead and give you a wide view of the map because things have quieted down and we're actually seeing more green on the screen, which equals to relief on the roads. But always watch out for those crews out there. They're working to make the roads a better place, so just remember to drive safe. Guys.
Stephen, thank you. She is the Karnes County attorney and will soon be district judge for a big portion of South Texas.
However, multiple families and employees of Karnes City ISD say Jennifer Dillingham crossed way over the line while trying to track down children who were in school.
If she says something, you know, she's up here, I'm down here. I don't really have too much over her.
KSAT investigates the parent complaints as Dylan Collier uncovers records showing her meddling in school district affairs.
This message today is for the parents of the school-aged children.
In August 2020, with the nation still firmly in the grips of the deadly COVID-19 pandemic, Karnes County Attorney Jennifer Dillingham went on Facebook and issued a stern warning to students and their parents.
So it is my promise to you, Karnes County, that your child and I will be seeing each other if you are not enrolled in school and actively engaging. I will prosecute these cases and I will make sure that we get on the right track.
Dillingham, who is now judge-elect for the 5-county 81st Judicial District, appeared to try and make good on her promise to tackle truancy. When weeks later, along with her assistant and the junior high principal, she showed up at students' homes and in at least 2 cases, according to state investigative files, actually went inside without a warrant while no parents were present. Sisters Leticia Hernandez and Maria Villanueva have homes on the same piece of land, and each reported Dillingham for possible official oppression.
You know, my mother called me panicking because she's like, somebody's entering your home. There's these 3 individuals.
He wakes up to somebody, hey, wake up, screaming at him to wake up. He sees a lady in front of him.
So why would a county attorney ever go into somebody's home looking for a child? A criminal justice expert we interviewed at St. Edward's University called Dillingham's behavior problematic.
I'm sort of flabbergasted at her response to students missing school. Now, I would not even call it truancy. Everybody has moved away from a criminal justice response to truancy.
Dr. Karsten Andreessen points out that Dillingham's crusade to combat truancy came as most prosecutors have moved the other direction. In 2015, the Texas legislature took massive steps to decriminalize truancy, the act of repeatedly missing school without a justified reason. The law aided a continued decrease in how many of these types of cases are filed against minors statewide. Perhaps Dillingham didn't get the message. An investigation by the state attorney general's office attempted to determine whether Dillingham and her associates entered the homes illegally. It was later declined for prosecution. Reached by phone, Dillingham, who serves as the head of the Karnes City Independent School District Education Fund, called her relationship with the district complicated. After agreeing to meet with KSAT Investigates for this story, Dillingham subsequently canceled, and was out of town at a conference when we came to her office.
Can we ask you a few questions?
So we caught up with her weeks later as she left work.
Very nice to see you.
Nice to see you. How are you?
I'm doing well.
After exchanging pleasantries, Dillingham said the home visits were authorized, but wouldn't elaborate.
Mr. Collier, I'm just a public servant working hard as the county attorney, so I appreciate your time very
You're
much.
a county attorney who has overstepped your boundaries. You're not a law enforcement officer. So why are you going to parents' homes?
I didn't present to be. Have a wonderful day.
And there's more. The Karnes City Junior High principal who accompanied Dillingham on some of those visits confirms the county attorney copy-edited this written exit letter last summer after the principal resigned. In it, the departing school administrator repeatedly called out Superintendent Hector Madrigal by name, questioning his professional demeanor and ethics, and that he uses bully tactics. We could find no record that Madrigal has been implicated in any ethics violations or other professional misconduct. Additionally, emails sent from Dillingham's official county account show her questioning the superintendent about whether he properly investigated incidents at the high school, and as recently as December, instructed him what to do next if the allegations were true. For Andreessen, the power play shows that Dillingham is way out of her lane.
Based on what you've read, does Dillingham have the right mentality to be a state district judge?
I don't think that she has the judgment to be a district judge. Somebody that has, taken a little bit of power from the county attorney and tried to sort of play kingmaker in the independent school district, has sort of tried to prosecute children and their parents for difficulties during COVID-19 with school attendance and logging on to schools, is not somebody that has the temperament to be a district judge, in my humble opinion.
For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dylan Collier.
And Hector Madrigal declined a request to be interviewed for this story.
Back outside with live cam at 9:39 and beautiful skies out there. Justin has a pollen count for us.
Yes, molds jumped a little bit higher today from yesterday's number. We're seeing that jump up. And for the first time this season, fall elm showing up in the pollen count. 2,340 for molds, 20 for fall elm. Molds remain in the high categories. We look at the big picture here. Showers and storms across North Texas, stretching all the way down to parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Some of that activity will eventually work its way down towards San Antonio, or at least we'll see some new activity pop up along a frontal boundary that will be sinking south today. In the meantime, still hot, 98 degrees the forecast high here in San Antonio, 100 in Laredo. The cool stuff will be up across North Texas. But as far as rain chances go in our forecast, 92 noontime, it's not until the afternoon that we start to put in some of those rain chances. 30% at 4 o'clock, 98 degrees. And a 40% chance of rain as we get into this evening, 6 p.m. through 8 p.m. Look for some scattered showers and storms, mainly I-10 and points north, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Well, it didn't take a jury long to sentence Rafael Castillo after finding him guilty Tuesday of the brutal murder of Nicole Perry back in 2020.
Castillo will spend 70 years behind bars. Our Erica Hernandez trial.
We assess his punishment and confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for a term of 70 years.
No reaction from 27-year-old Rafael Castillo after his sentence was read. Castillo convicted of using an axe and a machete to attack and murder Nicole Perry back in November 2020. Before the jury came to their decision, the state put up one witness during the punishment phase, a prison gang expert who is also an investigator with the District Attorney's Office. He told the jury that tattoos on Castillo were those of a known Texas gang and was a documented member of that gang.
As to whether the defendant is a member of a prison gang.
Yes, ma'am.
And what is that gang?
He is a member of the Texas Mexican Mafia.
As for the defense, they put up 3 family friends and Castillo's sister, pleading to the jury for any sentence other than life in prison.
He's always been lovable.
The jury took all of that into consideration and after about an hour came back with their decision, when the prosecutors were happy with.
You know, in this job, it's of the utmost importance to respect the decision of the jury. And this was a very brutal and senseless slaughtering of a very vulnerable member of our community.
Again, Castillo was sentenced to 70 years and he's eligible for parole after serving 30 of those years. At the Cadena Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
And tomorrow on GMSA at 9, Erica will join us here in the studio to talk about this trial.
She has received a lot of your questions about this case, so she's going to answer them coming up.
That's right, tomorrow, right here on the morning show at 9 o'clock. 9:42, 82 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
We'll be right back.
This year, there will be no game day on Election Day. The NBA taking steps to get more people to the polls this year.
The league announced it will not play games on election night in an effort to encourage their players, staff, and fans to vote in November.
RJ Marquez spoke with the local grassroots voting organization about the impact this decision could have as we get set for the midterm elections.
The NBA just released its regular season schedule, but one day you will not see players and coaches on the court is election night. The NBA announced it will not play any games on November 8th. It's a rare move because the league usually does not take full days off in season.
Anytime an organization as big as the NBA makes a socially conscious decision to make sure that to encourage voting, to encourage voter participation, I think is great.
Ron Etheridge is a political organizer for the Texas Organizing Project in Bexar County. He believes it's a bold statement by the league.
I think it sends a message that Election Day is sacred and that it's an important time.
This isn't the first time the NBA has made a move to encourage voter turnout. 2 years ago, many NBA arenas, including the AT&T Center, were used as polling locations for the first time.
We can't downplay their influence, and so anytime they're showing showing the importance of voting and encouraging people to vote, I think it's going to have an impact.
Etheridge says that this also speaks to promoting voters' rights and removing barriers.
Anytime that they're encouraging people to participate in democracy is always an advantage. One of the things we do here at TOP is make sure that not only we're knocking on these doors, but we're removing those barriers and encouraging people to vote.
And over the next few months, the Spurs will be getting the word out on voter registration process and state deadlines. And the day before Election Day, the Spurs will hit the court to, again, promote civic engagement and also encourage fans and staff to vote. Reporting from the AT&T Center, RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
Well, back to Justin now, and if you missed the earlier newscast, he was updating us on what wound up being a tornadic thunderstorm in our area earlier this week.
Yeah, it's very rare to get tornadoes in August this time of year in South Texas, but we did actually see one on Monday. But this was more associated with the tropical weather that we were seeing. Sometimes when you get those tropical spins, like the low pressure that came in on Monday, it can spit up some weak tornadoes, and that's exactly what happened. If you were watching us during the noon show on Monday, we reported the tornado warning, and sure enough, we did have a very small tornado. Now, it was on the ground for only about a quarter of a mile, and only lasted about a minute, but it had peak winds of about 75 miles per hour, according to the damage survey that the National Weather Service did. It was just to the south and west of Moore, and that was reported again on Monday. That was the only one we had, EF0. Right now, as we go outside for you, very quiet, blue skies, and nice morning underway. 82 degrees at the airport, dew point is at 73, southwesterly winds at 9. The feels like number is already at 87, so that's an indication that we'll see those heat indices likely jumping into the 90s here soon. 81 Kerrville, 82 at Hondo. It's 80 in Uvalde, 83 in New Braunfels. Around San Antonio, it's mainly low 80s here, 82 right now in Helotes, and just changed to 81 there in Rio Medina. The heat index, 86 is what it feels like there. 82 Bernie Stage, feels like 87 at Canyon Lake, and closing in on 90 for the feels like number in New Braunfels. At 4 o'clock today, temperatures will likely be in the upper 90s here in San Antonio. Feels like number around 102. We did this yesterday. If you remember, it was hot and humid. We're hoping we need some changes, right? Well, I think we get that later this evening with a weak frontal boundary. That should bring in some showers and storms, and tomorrow will be a little bit cooler. Nothing on the radar right now. We noticed some morning clouds, but not many of them. As you go east of town, a bit more cloud cover around Gonzales. And as we look north, there is shower and storm activity up across North Texas. Still some lingering showers with that tropical low. That's the same one that brought the active weather Monday, still sitting out there over parts of Mexico and far west Texas. As far as the front is concerned, looks like it's just to the north of the hill country right now, kind of snaking through central Texas. As it sinks south a little bit later this afternoon, that should allow for showers and storms to develop. 2 o'clock, not much there. So the ride home from school, even the evening commute probably looks okay. But as we get towards 5 o'clock, showers and storms will start to kind of blossom to our north, and I think they'll shift south. So about a 40% chance of rain between that 5 and 9 o'clock hour. And they may linger until about 10 o'clock or so before dying down with the loss of daytime heating. It's still hit or miss, but there could be some spots with some decent rainfall. And there could be a couple strong storms too. Gusty winds would be the main threat with any of the stronger storms that develop. As we get into tomorrow, 5 o'clock on your Friday, Another chance for rain. That frontal boundary is still around. 30% chance in this case. Some pop-up showers and storms. And just like today, most of that dies down with the loss of daytime heating. If we're looking at the rain chances geographically, best shot at rain will be up around Kerrville, Blanco, San Marcos, New Braunfels, and then a 40% chance here around San Antonio, Gonzales, Hondo. And then once you get south of town, the rain chances are much lower, only 20%. With areas, say, south of Pearsall, probably not seeing much at all. In the tropics, we've been talking about that one developing system. Regardless of if it develops or not, it looks like it's going to throw some tropical moisture in our direction. That helps with bringing more cloud cover on Sunday, and that'll cool temperatures down some. But it also brings some rain chances, it looks like, Monday into Tuesday as that moisture interacts with some disturbances rolling through. So the 7-day forecast, 40% chance late tonight, 30% chance tomorrow, small chance Saturday, a 20% chance Sunday, and then some better chances, it looks like, early next week.
We're grateful for those chances.
7 days looking good.
Thank you, Justin.
Beyond grateful. 9:51, 84 degrees.
And when we come back, a look at the trailer just released for the new Netflix series Wednesday.
Finally, you will be among peers who understand you. Maybe you'll even make some friends.
Want to take a stab at being social? I do like stabbing. I think I'm going to love it here.
The Addams Family is back thanks to a new Netflix series directed by Tim Burton.
The trailer for Wednesday was just released, and it stars the goth-like teenage daughter, Morticia and Gomez Addams, attending a school called Nevermore Academy, where she uses her psychic abilities to stir up some trouble.
The role of Wednesday is played by actress Jenna Ortega from the hit show You. It also stars Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia and Luis Guzman as Gomez. Christina Ricci, who played Wednesday in the 90s Addams Family films, is also set to appear in the series, which is supposed to premiere this fall. Also thought I saw Gwendolyn Christie from Game of Thrones in there too.
Looks like a good series. And coming up tomorrow on GMSA at 9, a local school district is rolling out an app this fall that will allow parents to track their child's bus. Officials hope it will keep students safe, and Tiffany Huertas is going to explain how the program works tomorrow on GMSA at 9.
We're climbing our way through the 80s on our way to upper 90s this afternoon. So hot and humid, but we'll be watching for some storms this evening, starting north of San Antonio, then eventually working their way towards town by the evening and nighttime hours. So don't be surprised if you hear a few rumbles of thunder around dinner time or maybe a little bit afterwards.
Don't forget, get our Weather Authority app. You track radar right in there, and if you see a weather event happening, you can click KSAT Connect at the bottom and submit your pictures to us.
Yeah, comes in handy. Thanks for joining us today.
Have a great day.